You know, I feel like you kind of made like this like amazing music throughout your whole career, but for whatever reason, like the label would never get behind it the way I thought that they should. Like I think about the 1984 album. I'm like, yo, this you were kind of ahead of your time. Like a lot of people kind of
everybody did 80s after that.
After that, yeah.
Yeah, we did
you had Sting on that shit.
Yeah, man, thank you, bro. You know, I recently did, like, the time while we had that interview for 1984, I was finishing Brooklyn Cowboy, which is a country album.
Yeah.
That was 2020, and they were like, we ain't doing no country album. And I ended up getting in a fight with the label.
So you were already working on it before it was a thing? Because that was the one thing I saw you do, the country thing, and I was like, well, that's kind of random.
Yeah. I started the country album in 2019, finished it in 2020.
Wow.
Delivered it. They didn't want to put it out. They said country is not the move. That's just not it. And then 4 years later, it became the hottest shit.
Yeah, everybody's.
But I fought to get that album because I wanted to own it. So as soon as I was off RCA, started my own label on February 23rd, which is, you know, off RCA. ORCA is Orca. That's how my label started, off RCA. And I just felt,
off RCA.
Yeah. So I kind of felt like, you know, I was a killer whale in SeaWorld, you know, labels is SeaWorld. So I said, yo, fuck SeaWorld, you know.
Right.
Started my own shit, got my own chain. I ain't wait for nothing.
That's a good reference, or a good, you know, I see it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just, you know, you're right though. I've been put in all different, I do all types of music. I've always done it since the beginning of my career. But, you know, rap and hip hop is like what got me started. If you listen to every single album I've ever put out, you always hear a hip hop or rap element in all the albums, you know? Because the culture, I feel like, you know, a lot of the songs that are sampled in rap are not, it's not hip hop or rap music that samples. They sample jazz, you sample pop music, you know? So regardless, like the culture and rap is always involved in every genre. Yeah,
and you also were one of the first artists I remember, like, really kind of people finding on Spotify.
Yeah. When that shit was lit.
Yeah, like I think it was when Tuma was running things. And there was like early rap Caviar. Like I remember you, like a lot of people like that's, I think that might be, I think I'd heard of you, but I think I really like got hip to the music just because you were on, I forget what playlist it was, but you were
Rap
like
Caviar, Today's Top Hits. I mean, when those playlists mattered, you know what I mean? Now it's just like whatever. Like,
yeah, I feel like the playlists nowadays are like, I don't know, man. You know, I always say that the blog era was the shit back in the day because there were gatekeepers, but at least they had good taste, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Yo, it's so funny, man. I just ran into this dude, Mecca. Remember Two Dope Boys?
Of course, Two Dope Boys. It's my boy. Yeah.
Shout out to Mecca, man. I just ran into him. I did an interview. They got this new thing called Crate Diggins.
Yeah, it was Mecca and Shake from Two Dope Boys.
Yeah, so shout out to Shake. Shout out to Mecca. I mean, yeah, you're right. You just said it. Like they had taste. Nowadays, it's just like people buying slots and stuff, you know?
Or it's just like numbers. It's like, what's the algorithm, and then there's like, okay, how much of this is like, because everybody who, like, at the end of the day, like if you're on a major label for the most part and you're like a major priority, there is like some level of like inflating the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, all the numbers is fake, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be up here sounding like Russ and shit, but like, you know, the reality is a lot of the shit is fake, a lot of the shit is bootleg, and you know, it's not like you can't see it. You like search the numbers on your laptop, you see like why is like 20 million people listening to this artist in Bangladesh. Like, why are they so popping in the Philippines?
Or
like,
in fucking like, you know, Estonia, Russia, something crazy.
Yeah, well, I can't say now. Russia is lit because, you know, we sold 15,000 tickets in Russia. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, you know, Russia is really streaming.
What year was this?
I don't even remember.
Was this middle of the conflict? I don't know. I just try to figure that out.
No.
How was the travel over
It was back in the day. But yo, my manager did get taken and pushed aside. They had it because his passport had a rip in it, so he had to wait for us to be finished with the show. Yeah, it was kind of stressful over there. But you know, the fan base in Russia, Germany. Like when I did Germany, I was opening up for Playboi Carti. I was on tour with Carti, and those kids, they just love the underground shit. They don't really care about like the #1 song and this and that. Like you're not really listening to the stuff Americans are listening to over there. They like Suicide Boys. They like Lil Peep and shit like that. You know, Bones. So
shout out to Bones.
Yeah.
It's crazy too because like a lot of fans, I feel like they've been programmed to like, you know, come up with an opinion on an artist or a song based on what their profile on Spotify looks like? Like if you open up someone's Spotify profile and they only have like, I don't know, 10,000 monthly listeners, you're like, man, this shit ain't it. Like, yeah, like I feel like it's a thing.
I mean, you know, the problem is
instead of finding artists
the problem is people are listening with their eyes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And not their ears. And it's sad because, you know, you see the situation we in now. It's like music has become so accessible, people don't respect it, and it's terrible. Back in our day, I mean, I'm talking about me. I mean, we the same age probably.
I'm 38.
I'm 34. Okay. Like same shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you waited online, you grabbed the CD, you opened it up, you read the lyrics, you cared about it, you cared about what the artist had to say, the package and everything, and it made you feel something. Like when you held the CD, you're like, this hard work, I got this shit, you know what I mean? But now it's like shit comes out at 12, you just go or skim through it, and then they fucking judge you based on one listen. They skim right through it.
And they'll do like some of these streams are just so cringy, bro.
Oh my god, dude.
I saw, and I you know, I got love for the Nelk boys, but I saw Kyle from Nelk and Aiden Ross trying to talk about the Drake Kendrick beef, and it was like watching two blind people talk about a painting. It was hilarious.
I mean, what Tyler the Creator say recently? He said some people don't deserve a mic, or like some people should not be able to.
Especially when it comes to like certain shit, it's like, yo, man, like y'all talk about, I don't know what the fuck they talk about, but you know, just like leave the rap shit alone. But no, it's interesting. Like, it's definitely a thing because back then, like even if an album sucked, you spent your hard-earned money on it. So you're gonna do your damnedest to find a song or two that you liked.
Like one song on there was like good enough.
Yes.
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
All right, well look, at least I got
this joint that I can play over and over again. Put that shit on.
But now it's like you said, people once they skim through it, if you know, it's damn near.
It's fucked up, man. You know, my father used to work at Warner as a garbage man. And they used to throw the CDs out months before it came out, the demos. He used to bring them home. And I would just listen to them as a kid, and I would pick the singles, you know. Like with the ones I liked, I would just like grab a pen and like circle the ones I liked on the CD. And they always ended up being the singles on the radio too, which is fucking funny. So like somehow I ended up being my own like immigrant A&R who didn't speak English but just loved music, you know.
Love it. Talk about like for you, you know, just what was the motivation to you know, obviously come off of doing a country album, Country So Big.
Yeah.
What was the motivation to get back to the grimy rap shit? Because this is really like your first, like, I would say, like in terms of this pocket of hip hop like project.
Yeah, I mean, I've always rapped,
right?
Not,
for sure.
But never this good,
right?
Because
which was by choice.
Yeah, my father got sick, and it kind of fucked me up. And I had to go back home, and I don't know. It was just like I had a hard 4 years in my life, and I don't know. I just like kind of forgot what reality was being in LA.
Right. Yeah, LA's, dude, if you get put in that industry blender, you end up at all these events.